Hi everyone, welcome to SKR Yoga and Wellness. My name is Sam and today we're going to be doing a class that is perfect for anybody that works at a desk all day long. So if you're working in an office, looking at a computer, answering emails, typing all day, this is going to be a great class for you. We're going to focus a lot on the wrists, the hips, and the spine. So that is the focus of today's class, and it shouldn't be too long. We'll just jump right in and get started. So we're going to start by taking the fists out in front of us, and you're going to flick your hands as if you're flicking water off of your fingers. And right after you flick the water, we're going to bring those hands back into fists really quickly. And we're going to do this 8 times in this position. So we'll start going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now moving to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now hands overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again out in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you might now start to feel this in your forearms and your wrists, which is what we're aiming for, of course. These last 2 rounds, let's pick up the speed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can definitely feel this in my forearms. I hope you are too. Overhead, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last round to the front. You got this. To the side. 6, 7, 8 overhead. And last 2, shake it out. Extend your hands out in front of you, and we're gonna flip the wrists up and back down. Again, focusing in on those muscles in your forearms and your wrists. You'll definitely feel this after that exercise we just did. And let's do 2 more, up and down, and up, and down, and shaking the hands out once more, releasing that. So next we're going into a stretch. So you're going to take your right hand and extend it out in front with the palm forward, fingers facing down. Grab a hold of your pinky, and on an inhale, pull the pinky almost like you're trying to crack your knuckle or pull the finger out of its socket. We're not quite going that far, but that's kind of the feeling. And then on an exhale, you're going to pull that pinky back towards your forearm, so you should feel a pretty intense stretch here, especially if this is your dominant hand. If you write with your right hand, then you'll feel this a lot more than you will on the other side. We'll move onto the ring finger. On an inhale, pulling the finger out, exhale, bending it back slightly. And these stretches here are gentle. We don't want to force the fingers and the hands into any extreme position here. Just doing what you can. Wherever you feel it is perfectly okay. Moving on to the middle finger, inhale, pulling it out. Exhale, pulling it back. Moving to the pointer finger, inhale, pulling it out. Exhale, pulling it back. Now for the thumb, you'll want to flip the palm and then just grab a hold of your thumb with your entire hand, opposite hand. And then as you re-extend that hand, you want to pull the thumb gently towards the outside edge of your forearm. And as we do this, try to keep energy in the rest of your fingers so your hand isn't curling in. We are still engaging the rest of our hand here. And we'll release that, moving on now to the left side. So extending that hand out, starting from the pinky on an inhale, pulling it out, exhale, bending it back towards your forearm. And just breathing through the stretch. Letting that go, moving on to the ring finger, inhale, pulling it out, exhale, bending it back. And onto the middle finger, inhale, pulling it out. Exhale, pulling it back. I'm actually reversing this for you guys. So this is actually my right hand, your left if you're looking at me from the computer screen. So this is, I'm feeling this way more because this is my dominant hand. Let's move on to the pointer finger. Very, very tight for me here. I do spend a lot of time when I'm not teaching yoga or dancing. I am at my computer quite a bit, so these are some really great stretches to do if I'm ever feeling stiff or if I've been sitting for quite a while. Moving on to the thumb, grabbing a hold of the outside of that thumb, and then re-extending the hand, pulling it in towards the outside edge of your forearm. And keeping your fingers engaged here, not letting them fold in. And we will release and let that go. So now, clasp your fingers together, and we're just gonna make some wrist circles, circling around. And then if you can try to reverse it, give it a shot. It always slows down for me when I try to do this. My brain can't work quite as fast as when I go the other way. So give it a try, see what happens. And we will release. Just coming into another couple stretches for the wrists. You're going to make a fist with your fingers coming in, and then your thumbs going on the outside of your fingers. And then take those fists and kind of punch them out towards the sides here. And imagine that you're holding 2 pitchers of water in your hands. And then we're just gonna pour the water out onto the floor. So you're just bending slightly at the wrists. And coming back in, we're gonna flip the grip now. So taking your thumb inside, fingers over top, re-extending the fist and finding that pour. You'll find this stretch is much more intense for the side of your wrist. And once again, I feel this way more on my right side than I do on my left. And release, shaking it out. We're gonna come onto all fours, moving through some rounds of cat and cow. So finding your knees underneath your hips, hands right underneath your shoulders. And on an inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the gaze, curving the tailbone up towards the sky. And on an exhale, curving the back, sending the belly button towards your spine. And inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, curve. Let's do 3 more cycles. Moving at the pace of your own breath. Really letting the breath be the leader here, guiding the way. And take your last one or so. When you finish your cycle, come into a neutral spine. We're going to swing the right leg forward in between the palms, finding a low lunge here on the right side. And on an inhale, extending the arms up overhead, not totally sinking into that front hip, keeping the core engaged and keeping both of your thighs, your inner thighs, drawing towards each other ever so slightly. Almost like you're trying to pinch your yoga mat underneath you. So there is a little bit of engagement here, even though we're still stretching in front of our left hip. And now we're going to, feel free to stay here, but if you would like to progress, we're going to go into a reverse in this low lunge. So you're going to take your right hand onto your left thigh, and then bend backwards ever so slightly, reaching that left arm up towards the top corner. This definitely intensifies the stretch in front of your hip. If it feels like too much, or if you're finding difficulty with balance, you can always come up to the first variation with both arms up overhead. Otherwise, we'll be here for another 3 breaths. And on your next inhale, bring the right arm up to meet the left. And then from here, you're going to tuck your back toes under, and then power up the legs and lift up into a high lunge here on the right side. You can keep a bend in your back knee if necessary. We don't want to curve too much in the lower back here. So to compromise, you can keep a slight bend in your back knee, keeping the core firm and engaged. And from here, taking the hands to prayer position in front of your chest. We're going to step up onto the right leg, cross your left heel over the top of your right thigh, and we'll sit back into standing pigeon pose. So your hips are going back in space, spine stays nice and long. Breathing into that left hip. Really rooting in towards the floor with your right foot. I love to use the image of roots when I'm thinking of balance. Always seems to instantly help steady myself. On an inhale, coming back up to stand, bringing that knee towards your chest. Before we exhale, sending that leg back. Finding warrior three just for a moment. If you'd like to add an extra challenge here, you can extend your arms up overhead. Make sure you keep your toes, your knee, and your left hip all spinning down towards the floor. And your belly button is pulling in towards your spine. Stay nice and strong in the core. Now from here, we're going to softly come back into that lunge and opening up the hands, immediately finding easy twist here on the right side. You're stacking your shoulders on top of one another. And float the right palm back down, stepping back into our first downward dog. So feel free to paddle through the feet. Shake your head out yes and no. And then finally settling into the posture. You can stay here, or if you'd like to flow through a vinyasa, you can do that with me here as we inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, pushing the hips back to find downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths here. And on your next exhale, let the knees fall to the mat. And we'll swing the left foot forward right away to find low lunge here on the left side. So once again, thinking of that image of pinching your yoga mat underneath you. Core is engaged. So we're not just dumping all of our weight into the lower back here, still keeping our spine nice and supported. And now feel free to stay here, or we can progress farther into the extension and the low lunge. Keeping that arm reaching, plugging up towards the top corner of the room. Trying to keep that engagement in your legs. So once again, we're maintaining integrity in the spine, in the lower back. And on an inhale, let's float the left arm up to meet the right, tuck the back toes under, and power up the legs, finding high lunge here. Right away, engaging the core. Breathing. This is the most difficult part of class, you got this. 2 more breaths here. And we'll float the palms in front of the chest. Inhaling, come all the way up to stand. And then cross your right ankle over the top of your left knee as we bend and send the hips back to find standing pigeon pose. So imagine a straight line from your tailbone all the way up to the front of your head. Core is still engaged as always here. Take 2 more breaths. And on an inhale, coming back up to stand, finding that balance before we re-extend into warrior 3. Stay rooted into that left right hip, knee, and toes are all pointing towards the floor. For an extra challenge, you can add your arms extending out beside your ears. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. And bending into the left leg very gently as if we're stepping on a cloud. Place the right leg back down, opening up the arms to find easy twist. Stacking the shoulders, opening up the chest. Feeling grateful for the opportunity to do all of that hard work. And we'll float the left palm back down, coming back into downward dog. And once again, you can stay here or follow me into a flow. Inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. From here, we're right away going to walk the feet and the hands into the middle of the mat, just to find a ragdoll fold. So your feet are about hip width distance apart. And then you're just going to pour your upper body and your spine forward on top of those legs. Please have a slight bend in your knees so we don't have to be overstretching. We're not totally straight in the legs here. We're just releasing in the hamstrings and the lower back. If you'd like to rock from side to side, as I am, feel free to do so. Even sometimes I find it helpful if you grab opposite elbows, just adds a little bit of extra weight. Pulling you forward, releasing into the hamstrings. Now place your hands onto the mat. You're going to open up your toes, so your heels are in, toes are out, sending your hips all the way down towards your heels, just finding a yogi squat. So bring your hands to prayer position, and then send your elbows in on the inside of your knees, pushing your legs out towards the sides, finding a tall and long spine in this position. So you should feel a nice hip opening here. You might also feel a little bit of a stretch in your spine, finding this nice long, straight position. Keeping the core engaged and breathing. Now from this position, we're going to release the hands and then very gently place the butt down onto the floor. And we're coming into boat pose. So you can decide how difficult you'd like to make this. Grabbing the backs of your thighs, rocking back off of your sit bones, and then you can extend your shins so they're parallel with the floor, or reaching your legs all the way up. Once you feel steady, release the grip of your hands, and we'll just be here for 5 breaths. You got this. 3 and 2. Last one. 1. And slowly releasing down onto the mat, shaking out the legs. We're going to come into fish pose from here. So right away, bring your ankles and legs all the way together, and you want to straighten your knees and straighten your legs. So I'm also actually pointing my feet and reaching all of my energy towards that wall. So that's step 1. Step 2, you want to place your hands, palms facing down, right beside your body, and then you're going to press your weight into your elbows and forearms so that your upper body can lift off the mat, and then you're just going to send the top of your head back. So we're finding a nice arch here. Continue sending energy through your legs, reaching in the opposite direction, and putting weight into your elbows. So there is no weight on the top of my head here. That way I'm not creating any tension or kinks in my neck. I'm really putting the effort in the lower half of my body to find the freedom and the openness in the upper half of my body. And on your next exhale, tuck the chin first before releasing down onto the floor. And we'll just take a twist to finish off. So hugging your right knee in towards your chest. Give your ankle a couple of circles. And on an exhale, cross the right knee over your body. Extend your right arm out towards the side. And breathe in here. Finding a twist from your navel. Make sure both shoulders are pressing firmly into the floor here, so that right shoulder blade is still in contact with your mat. And on your next inhale, firm up the belly to bring that leg back into center. And right away, we'll go to the other side. So squeezing the left knee in towards your chest on an inhale. And on an exhale, crossing it over the body. Extending the left arm out, keeping that left shoulder blade pressing down onto the mat. And just breathe here. And on your next inhale, firming up the belly to come back to center with that leg. And then we'll open up into Shavasana. We'll only be here for about a minute or so. So let the feet open up wide, hands are wide, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Gently closing your eyes. And just allowing your body to fully integrate all of that work from your practice. We will take another 8 breaths or so here. Just relaxing and breathing. And gently start to wake back up. On your own time, wiggling your fingers and toes, circling your wrists and ankles, and then slowly rolling onto your right side. Coming on up to a seated position facing me. And we'll just bring the hands in front of the heart. Getting a nice tall spine and bending forward. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for doing this practice with me for office workers. I really hope you're feeling some freedom in your wrists, in your shoulders, in your hips, and in your spine. This class is definitely really beneficial if you make it a practice. So if you are someone that works at an office every single day, this is something you may want to integrate into your schedule to start to see some of the benefits from this practice. So if you really enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what your favorite part was in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to SKR Yoga and Wellness. It really does help me in providing free yoga videos here on YouTube. So thank you so much once again, and have a good rest of your day.